What's up guys, Sean here. Wanted to do a quick little video for you guys. Show you guys what I'm carrying today. First up is my Hinderer XM18 3.5 inch no choil slicer. This is one of my favorite knives. This one has a battle bronze titanium lock side, a stone washed finished M390 blade. This knife is made in the USA. I believe Hinderer branch is in Ohio. So yeah, this features a over travel stop, which they call a lock bar stabilizer. It has a two-way positionable pocket clip, so you can do tip down or tip up. It's right hand only. I believe they do make left hand variants of all the Hinderer knives, but they are pretty rare and hard to come by. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them before. It also features a steel lock bar insert. This version is on bearings, but it features the tri-way pivot system, which that's what this little logo is right here. That means this can be ran on bearings, phosphor bronze washers, or Teflon washers. I prefer the bearings. Well, actually, to be quite honest with you, I can't say I honestly prefer the bearings because I've only tried the bearings. I had the stock bearings in both of my XM18s, and I swapped them out with Skiff ceramic bearings, and the Skiff bearings are awesome. I love them, but I probably should try out the washers, and never know until you try it. There's plenty of knives on washers that I love the action, so I think the phosphor bronze might be right up my alley. But excellent knife, made in the USA, very good tolerances, excellent fit and finish, excellent quality parts. Every piece of this knife is manufactured by Hinderer in-house, which is insane. They have a state-of-the-art facility. He started off small. All the money that he made from selling his knives, because he became, his knives became popular pretty quickly. He invested every dollar back into the company. He has all state-of-the-art equipment, the nicest, most insane lathes and milling machines or mills. They have 2-axis mills, 3-axis mills. He has like water jet mills. I don't even know the names for all these different machines, but it's pretty insane. And the proof is in the pudding. These knives are built rock solid. They're built tough, and they're also elegant, great action, feel great in your hand. And it's a knife that it'll last a lifetime. It's something that you can pass down to your kids and then pass down to your grandkids. It's something that is gonna hold up and stand the test of time. And that's a really cool thing. And other than that, I just like supporting USA companies, USA knife makers. It's good for the American economy. It's good for everyday American people like you and me. And yeah, it's win-win. And right here, I have my key bar, carbon fiber key bar for Fiber Friday. I have the little quick key things, which allows you to get a grip. It's almost like having a thumb stud for whatever key you use the most. I have 2 of these, but I only have 1 of them installed right now, and that's for the barbershop key, because that's really the only key that I regularly use every day. And then also have a little utility cutter. Don't really use that because anytime I have an excuse to use a blade, obviously I want to use the knives that I'm carrying, unless it was some kind of really shitty job that I don't want to mess my knife up on. But then hanging from it, I have Hinder Armor's tools, and don't judge me, but these are knockoffs. I got these on eBay. The genuine Hinder Armor's tool, I don't think it's 2 pieces. I think it's 1, and it might have everything. I don't know if it unscrews. I don't know really what's so special about it, but they're like $90 if you get them when they're in stock, and if not, you're looking at, you know, secondary market values going to be over $100, and that's just insane to me. I found these on eBay real cheap, maybe like $10, and it works great. On this one, you have the spanner, so you can tighten and loosen this up from the clip side, the lock side, and then you have this bit right here, or little tool, and this has the flat head across the entire part of it. It doesn't have the slot in the middle like the spanner, and that is for your show side. And this, they fit perfect. They don't mark up the screws. Then on the top side of this one, you have a 2mm hex, so I can actually tighten down or loosen up my standoff screws as well. So really cool little tools. I'm all about saving money where I can. You know, generally I like to get the genuine OEM stuff made by the manufacturer. I'm not really a fan of knockoff stuff and clone stuff, but you know, if you're gonna charge $90 for a little tool like this, you know, what do you expect? I don't make that much money. It takes, you know, I have to save up for a good little while to get myself a knife like this. I'm not gonna use my extra money that I save up from a week or 2 weeks of hard work, you know, which is, I'm at the barbershop 50 to 60 hours a week, and then I'm working on videos maybe 40 hours a week. So I work 100 hours a week just to have $100 extra cash in my pocket. That's the last thing I want to spend it on. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. But, you know, it is what it is. Then I'm also carrying my other favorite knife of all times, the Spyderco Shaman. This one in particularly is the favorite one that I own. This is the Knife Joker exclusive Crewwear Shaman. It comes from the dealer with the forest green G10 scales, and I've since then outfitted it with the Flytanium carbon fiber scales in honor of Fiber Friday. This is rocking a Lynch Northwest deep carry clip, titanium obviously. This is the sand washed finish. I love this finish. If you have a Spyderco Spidey Chef, it's the exact same kind of finish as the scales on that. It's a perfect match, and I really like this finish. It also has anodized green titanium hardware, including the stop pin and the clip screws. It's rocking a KME edge, 17 degrees per side, very sharp. And that brings me to another thought. As you guys know, I just put out that video with the, demonstrating the stropping with the gunny juice and trying to give you guys some stropping tips. Well, I made some posts in some of the knife groups, and a guy on the knife groups, he actually said he's one of my subscribers and he loves the channel, but he's a little bit older than me, and I felt like he was coming at me like he was trying to school me. so it wasn't received well by me. And he said something like he thinks anything below 25 degrees per side is no good for EDC task, and that the edge becomes too brittle and compromised. And I told him I think that's completely absurd. I have 99% of my knives are sharpened at 17 degrees per side. I use all of my knives. None of my blades have chips in them because I don't use my knives for tasks that they aren't intended for. I don't pry with my knives. I'm not dropping my knives on the concrete, knock on wood, you know. I pray that doesn't happen, but I'm careful with them because they're expensive. I like them and I like to take care of my stuff. And I want my tools to cut good. So I'm not gonna, you know, just carelessly trash the edge that I spent, you know, all that time and effort to get nice and sharp so it can perform the way I like it to. The only time that you might not want to go as low as 17 degrees per side is if you have a knife in S110V, Maximet, Rex 121, certain really hard high HRC steels can be kind of brittle. That being said, I have a knife in Maximet. I've never chipped it. It's sharpened at 17 degrees per side. So I think it really has a lot to do with how you personally use your knives and, you know, whether you use them as intended or if you kind of abuse it. And that's not to say that there's necessarily a right or wrong way to use your knives when it comes to cutting and stuff. You know, just because you accidentally run into a staple, you know, that doesn't mean that you're being careless. You know, accidents happen. But for the most part, 9 times out of 10 or 99% of the time, I don't think it's really a factor. And if you are familiar with KnifeSteelNerds.com, Dr. Laren Thomas, he has donated 2 decades worth of his research. He's done all kinds of testing when it comes to blade steels and how they perform and the differences and comparisons. And he has discovered a direct correlation between your edge angle and your edge retention. So the lower your edge angle, so say if that's 17 degrees per side, that would be 34 degrees inclusive. That is going to outcut an edge sharpened at 40 degrees inclusive by a lot. Like, we're talking exponentially. And then if you drop down to 15 degrees per side, it goes up from there. So the benefits and the gains that you get in your edge retention and your cutting performance far outweighs the slight risk of damage to your edge, which is, in my experience, kind of a non-factor. I've been carrying knives and collecting knives since I was 8 years old. I am 29, so that's 21 years. There's very few knives that I have chipped the edge. And as far as my knives that are super steels, it's only happened to me maybe once or twice, and that was my own fault. That was because I accidentally hit something metal with the edge. And, you know, it wasn't anything catastrophic. It was an easy fix. I had to, you know, take a little time, sharpen it out or strop it out, but it's not the end of the world. And the cutting performance gains that you get, it far outweighs it. I didn't really receive his comment well because I felt like he was coming at me like he was trying to school me. I guess maybe because he's older than me, he feels like he has more experience or wisdom. but that's not necessarily the case. You know, he claimed he's been in this for 20 years. Well, come to find, I did the math, I have 21 years in it, but that's besides the point. It's completely irrelevant. My whole point is I take the time out of my day. I dedicate a lot of time to this, and I've dedicated hundreds, if not thousands of hours, sharpening, stropping, cutting, doing comparisons, and taking mental notes. You know, I don't do scientific comparisons and testing and everything, but I am really observative and I pay close attention to everything. I am really analytical. So, you know, I've gone through all the trial and error. I have risked damaging, you know, my own knives that I spent my hard-earned money on, and you know, I've tried out dozens of sharpening systems, any kind of strop surface material you can think of, any type of stropping compound, different methods, different emulsions, sharpening your edge at different angles, different finishes, all that stuff. I've taken the time, I've done the research, I've done the practice, I've put in the time over and over again to, you know, work on perfecting it. When it comes to sharpening, there is no such thing as perfecting the craft. You're always going to improve with time and practice. Not necessarily time, it all comes down to how much time you're actually putting in on the stones. It's not how many days you're into the hobby. It's how much time you actually spend sharpening and how many knives you sharpen, and that's what really counts. And are you just going through the motions, or are you consciously trying to improve and outdo your last edge with every knife that you sharpen? That's how you get better. So that's what it comes down to. And I have learned a lot over the years. I feel like I have a lot of talent, or a lot of knowledge and tips and tricks and all kinds of good stuff and insight to offer the community. And what kind of guy would I be to just keep all that to myself when it could be helping other people enjoy the hobby just the same way that it helps me to enjoy the hobby more. You know, I didn't have somebody to, you know, analyze all those things, put in all that time, go through all of that, and then summarize it for me and try to put it in words or a demonstration so that I can easily understand it. So it's just like a light bulb and ding, I got it. I had to, you know, I took the long road. I've always been one to learn things the hard way, which takes time. It takes blood, sweat, and tears, but that's okay. And once I have my mind set on something and I'm determined about it, I don't stop until I get there. So, you know, I'm in this to, anytime I share something, it's never to show off or say, hey, this is the only way to do this or that. And if you don't agree, then, you know, you're wrong, or your opinions don't matter. No. When I'm sharing a post, or when I make a post and I'm sharing tips and advice and knowledge and things that I have noticed, that is from the goodness of my heart. That's because it is factual, legitimate information that can help you guys. You know, I've had people, both experienced and beginner sharpeners, have told me that they have gained knowledge and learned and improved their sharpening directly from my videos and tips and tricks that I shared. And that makes me feel so good, because that's the whole purpose of this. There's nothing that makes me feel better than when I get a comment from somebody saying, you know, thank you so much for this video. This really helped me out. I was really having a hard time and struggling with this, and you know, your video helped me to understand it, and now I've improved a lot. I'm doing great. My edges are finally getting sharper. They're looking better, and I'm enjoying the hobby and loving it. You know, when they were this close to giving up on it and saying screw it, because it can get frustrating. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of practice, and a lot of determination and resilience. You know, you can't give up. And I've been there where I've done it over and over and over again, and I feel like, you know, no matter what I did, I wasn't getting the desired outcome. But you have to keep pushing past that, and trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. It's just how much you put into it. And, you know, all those things together in a nutshell, that's why I don't receive comments like that very well, where, you know, someone is kind of saying, you know, I think you're wrong and blah, blah, blah. You know, you can say, you know, hey, I feel, you know, I disagree, whatever, blah, blah. But, you know, I see where you're coming from, because I'm not sharing things that are just random ideas that I fucking came up with. Like, I'm sharing information that is proven, methods that are proven, time proven by many people much more experienced and much smarter than me. Okay, I'm just a small piece of the puzzle, and I just want to have something to offer and contribute to the community, because this is something that I love. You know, I'm never, when I make a post, I'm not thinking in my head like, hey, I'm going to show all these guys I'm the best. No, because when it comes to sharpening and all of these things, you are always learning. You are always working to improve your craft, and you're honing your craft, essentially. And if I'm able to help you to become a better sharpener, whether you are a veteran and you've been sharpening 20 years, or whether you just started sharpening yesterday, I'm happy either way. So that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Hope everybody's having a great week. It's Friday. You know, be safe. I love you guys. Stay sharp. Jesus loves you. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.